Hey y'all, so I am doing a cute celebrity inspired look by Miss Lotto or Big Lotto. Thank you, girl, for the inspo. And also here's a shameless plug. If you are looking for these jumbo scrunchies that I have in, they are on my website at keumani.com, KHEUMANI. It will be in the description box down below. Please check out my site and let's get into it. I just wanted to say it feels so good to be back. Didn't y'all miss me? Good. Now let's get into it. To begin, I am starting with a white 2X men's athletic wear shirt, and it was actually $7.64. I like to use the athletic wear shirts just because the material is a little bit better. So I'm gonna take this dress and I am going to basically fold it at the waist part, and you will easily know where the waist is if you're using a dress because it'll go in some. You can easily use a skirt, but I just like the fit of this dress. And then you want to cut out your skirt. You just really want to make sure you're making it wide enough to where it's going to fit. And this is white. So please make sure you cutting it wide enough because white is already see-through. And if it's too tight, that means it's going to stretch more, which is going to make it even more see-through. So just make sure you're cutting it to where it actually fits. If you cut it and it fits and it's still see-through, just double the fabric and you'll be good. For reference, I am 5'5" and I cut my skirt about 15 inches in length. Keep in mind though, when you do the ruching to the side, that it is going to make the dress shorter. So if you want it to be, cover more skin, make sure you're cutting it long enough. Next, you want to take one of your sleeves and detach it from the rest of the fabric because you are going to use this to make your two top pieces. So just cut the sleeve off. Next, you are just going to want to cut a line at an angle, starting from one end of the fabric to the other end. This is just the easiest way for us to do this top. We could have easily cut it in a triangle too, but I feel like hemming the sides of triangular pieces is kind of difficult to keep it symmetric. So we're going to do this. This is a lot easier and it really looks similar. And once you're done with that, you got these two triangular pieces. So they aren't literally triangles, but you get that triangular look. You feel me? Cool. And for reference, my triangular pieces were 22 inches in length. You can make this longer or shorter depending on your liking. Now, since we're making this out of t-shirt, we only got scraps of fabric left. So I am cutting 4 20-inch pieces of fabric. If you have extra fabric or you're making this from just a regular, where you're not cutting up a item, you'll have more fabric to work with. Just cut out 2 4-inch wide, 40-inch long strips of fabric. After that, these are all the pieces that we have. Not that many, just 2 for the top triangles, 1 solid for the skirt, and then you got the strips of fabric for the bottom of the shirt. We're going to start off by sewing up the side of the skirt because this is the simplest part. If you cut yours like mine, you only have to sew up one of the sides. So as you can see, I'm flipping it inside out, and then I am just going to do a line of stitches on the side that is open just to close it up. I'm going to use my serger for this video, but let me stress this, guys. You do not need a serger for this look. I just use my serger because it's faster, but you don't need it. You literally could do the exact same thing, the exact same project with your sewing machine. So don't stress and don't get, too hyped up about it. Just literally do the same thing. Just sew your fabric together. That's all you need. Now we're going to go to the next simplest thing, which is just attaching 2 of your 20-inch strips of fabric to each other. If you already cut this out in 40 inches, you can skip this step. And I'm just showing you where I am going to attach both 20-inch long strips of fabric together. Again, if you cut out 40-inch strips, you don't need to do this. Just so I'm not confusing, I'm attaching these 2 pieces so I can get 2 longer strips of fabric. So in total, after I sew these two together, it's gonna end up being 40 inches long. You feel me? Cool. I don't want to, you know, confuse you or whatnot. Once you got that together, you just want to fold that in half and sew up the open side, because we are basically making a string. This is where we're going to tack our loop turner. You can get this from any craft store, Walmart, or anywhere that sells sewing supplies. And you want to stick this all the way through, hook the loop turner at the very end, and just pull it basically on right side out. So it's just going to flip it on the right side so that the seam is going to be on the inside. I'm kind of grazing over this part because I've shown y'all how to use a loop turner in so many videos. I don't want to bore you, but you're going to do that with both of your strips of fabric. If you are going to hem your top, this is when you need to do it. So hemming is basically cleaning up the unfinished edge of the fabric. So you're just going to tuck it under and sew it down. So tuck both sides under. You don't have to worry about the bottom because we're going to attach the strips of fabric down there. But this is basically what a hem is for those of you who don't know. After the hem is done, we're just going to attach the strips that we cut out for the very bottom. And you just want to attach it to the part that we didn't hem, as simple as this. And you just want to place it on top like so, and just do a line of stitches from here all the way down. You're going to do this exact same process for both pieces that you cut out for your top. After that, we are going to make a casing for our elastic. I am using 3/4 of an inch wide of elastic. So I made my casing about an inch. Usually I like to do it tighter, but I just do it a little bit bigger to be on the safe side because I hate when elastic is like bunched up in the casing. So once I folded it down about an inch, I just sewed it down and I left a little opening just so we can feed our elastic through. So make sure if you are adding elastic, which you should be, that you need to leave an opening when you are doing your casing so you can actually feed your elastic through. Now, there's a couple different ways where you can add an elastic waistband, but I find this to be the easiest, especially if you are a beginner. The elastic through, you just want to stick a safety pin to one of the ends and push it through the opening that we left for our elastic, and use the safety pin as a tool to guide the elastic all the way around to the opening on the other side. Once you're all done, you just want to sew up both ends of the elastic and close the opening that you left for the elastic now that it's in there. Now to apply the ruching to the side of the skirt, I am going to use the sewing machine, and I'm going to take that same elastic that I used for my waistband, and I am going to do the ruching effect with that. It's super easy. You just want to make sure. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your elastic and pick which side of the skirt that you want it to go on. You can honestly do both, but I just did it like Miss Lotto, and she only had it on one side, so that's why I did it on one. You want to put it directly on the seam, and when you are sewing it down, I am going to use a zigzag stitch, but when you are sewing it down, make sure you're pulling the elastic while you're sewing. This is going to give you that snapback effect. When you let the elastic go, it's going to do the ruching for you. This is super, super duper easy. And again, make sure you are stretching it. The more you stretch, the more ruched it's going to be. And here is the final look. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in next week's sewing episode where we do recreate another celeb look. I can't tell you who it is. You got to come back next week. So I'll see you then. Bye.